Hello everyone, it's Hannah here from Virtually Fluent. Today we're looking at the grammar topic of question tags in English. They're really useful expressions, little questions that we tag onto the end of a sentence. We use them all the time in everyday conversation, so it's a really important topic for you to understand. If you would like to check your understanding, review everything we learned today, you can go ahead and take our question tags course. I've left the link to that in the description below. So let's start with lots of examples of question tags. We are happy, aren't we? They will be here, won't they? She was always interesting, wasn't she? Now, the first thing that you will notice is that question tags are kind of added parts onto the end of a sentence. They will be separated from the main sentence by a comma, and they must have a question mark at the end of them in order to be question tags. The second important thing to note is that question tags act like a balance to the main sentence. If the main sentence has a positive verb, our question tag must be negative. And if our main sentence has a negative verb, our question tag must be positive. There's only one main exception to this. For example, you've cleaned your room, have you? In which case both parts are positive. This isn't particularly normal. You're sort of taking the mick out of somebody, confirming some understanding, sort of rolling the eyes at the same time. So this isn't too common with question tags. Now, the verb that we use in the main sentence tends to be exactly the same verb in the question tag. You can see all the verbs that we use in all of the tenses here. So we really need to think about matching. The only ones that are different are the simple tenses. This is because we don't tend to use an auxiliary verb in our main affirmative phrases. So let's look at loads of positive and negative examples from all of these tenses so you're 100% certain with all of them. The first one is the present simple tense, and this has two possible verbs, either be or do. The most common verb is to do. Any verb that's at the beginning part of the sentence, watch, like, love, hate, any of these verbs will require do in the question tag. I watch TV, don't I? She reads a book, doesn't she? I don't go shopping, do I? He doesn't run, does he? But if the first part of the present simple phrase has the verb to be, then our question tag also requires the verb to be. We are happy, aren't we? It is open, isn't it? I am here, aren't I? Now, this is something to be aware of because when we use the negative in a question tag for the form I, then we actually say are. A little strange. Only in negative though, I aren't. Grammatically, we do not say that, but in a question tag, yes. I am here, aren't I? And in the negative of the present simple verb to be, you aren't sad, are you? He isn't handsome, is he? I'm not fat, am I? Moving on to the past simple tense, again, there are two possibilities. Either did, which is the most common with any verb, or was, were, with the verb to be. I watched TV, didn't I? She ran a marathon, didn't she? I didn't go shopping, did I? He didn't sing, did he? We were happy, weren't we? It was open, wasn't it? You weren't sad, were you? He wasn't handsome, was he? Moving on to the present continuous tense, just remember to watch out for that I am becomes aren't I as a question tag. I am watching TV, aren't I? She is reading a book, isn't she? I'm not going shopping, am I? He isn't running, is he? All the present continuous uses the verb to be in the question tag. Past continuous is exactly the same but becomes was, were in the past tense. I was watching TV, wasn't I? We were reading a book, weren't we? I wasn't going shopping, was I? They weren't running, were they? Moving on to the present perfect tense, we use the verb have or has. I have watched TV, haven't I? He has read a book, hasn't he? I haven't gone shopping, have I? He hasn't run, has he? In the past perfect, our auxiliary verb is had. I had watched TV, hadn't I? He had read a book, hadn't he? I hadn't gone shopping, had I? He hadn't run, had he? Present perfect continuous also requires have or has. I have been watching TV, haven't I? He has been reading a book, hasn't he? I haven't been shopping, have I? He hasn't been running, has he? And past perfect continuous uses had again. I had been watching TV, hadn't I? He had been reading a book, hadn't he? I hadn't been shopping, had I? He hadn't been running, had he? The future tenses use either will or won't as the question tag. We will be happy, won't we? It will be open, won't it? You won't be sad, will you? He won't shop, will he? And just be careful that there is, there are will need to be exactly the same. There is a TV, isn't there? There are some books, aren't there? There isn't a shop, is there? There aren't any books, are there? There are just a couple of exceptions. The first one is when we provide a suggestion, typically with the phrase let's. Our question tag is going to be shall. For example, let's go to the shops, shall we? And when you hear an imperative in the first part of the sentence, we use will or won't as our question tag. Give me that book, will you? Or give me that book, won't you? So it really depends on what the auxiliary verb is for each tense as to how to insert a question tag. There are just a couple of things that you need to look out for. The first thing is those negative adverbs. We have an entire video on negative adverbs if you want to learn how to use those correctly, but these are the equivalent of a negative verb, which means that if that is in the first part of the sentence, we need positive, affirmative in the opposing part or the question tag. For example, she hardly worked, did she? Worked is positive, yes, but hardly is negative. So actually the first part of the sentence, she hardly worked, is negative, which means our question tag needs to be affirmative. She hardly worked, did she? The second thing to be careful of is when using the words everybody and nobody, because these are typically used in a singular way in the first part of a sentence. But in the question tag, what we actually do is use the plural word, and then we need to insert a plural pronoun. For example, everybody is here, aren't they? And on that note, all nouns, including words such as everybody, nobody, need to be replaced with pronouns. Hannah has arrived, hasn't she? So those are the three little things to look out for when using question tags in English. To learn even more about question tags, check out the correct pronunciation and intonation of question tags, you can check out our question tags course. I've left the link to that in the description below. I've also left a link to the subscription for our blog in order to learn more about generally improving techniques of learning English and also the British culture, and also the links to all of our social media channels, because I post not just on YouTube but across so many different channels, loads of free content to really help you improve your English. Don't forget to like today's video and also subscribe to my channel to see loads more videos just like this one with short, clear examples and explanations of English grammar, pronunciation and vocabulary. That's everything for today. This is Hannah from Virtually Fluent, bringing English to life.